Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and today you're going to do me a favor. If you're a fan of this channel, or you want to just support this channel, or if you ever like, hi, Andy, I wanted to support you, but I couldn't afford your Kickstarter. I couldn't afford to do your Patreon. What can I do to help you? You know what you can do? You can watch this video 10 times. You know why? Because I am making a new concept. Once a month, I will be doing a fundraiser video where all you have to do is watch. Put it on the background while you're working out or on your car or whatever. When you have to go to a meeting, make sure you autoplay this video. Whatever you got to do, play this video as much as you can, because if you haven't noticed, look how many ad breaks there are. That's right. We got over 10 minutes, and every minute I'm going to have a nice big ad break to make sure that you guys stop. So I'm starting my clock right now, and I thought I got to entertain you for 10 minutes. What's something that could be fun to do that I hate talking about? That'd be fun to make money off of too. I had it. Screen Rant. Oh my God, I hate Screen Rant. Now, Screen Rant, we were compared to Screen Rant a lot when I worked at Screen Junkies. And Screen Rant is just known for their ridiculous listicles. So I thought, what better way to eat up 10 minutes than to read one of these stupid articles? And if you haven't noticed, I did a video about The Office not aging well. Well, guess what? They've done it for everything. Let's find 10 things from Terminator 2 that haven't aged well. Shall we, guys? This sounds wonderful. We're going to go through 10 things to see what hasn't aged well in Terminator 2. I have no idea. I can't wait to see how Screen Rant will just crap on T2 and all the things in it. But before we do that, it's time for our first break. Unless you had ad blocker, or unless they didn't put one in. But this is where they do it. And we're hopefully back. All right, guys, welcome back. Now, as I said in the pre-thing, we are going to go through and do a 10 things from Terminator 2 that haven't aged well, courtesy of Screen Rant, my favorite clickbait website that just does garbage and really usually has no actual thing to say. So let's see what they do. They literally out-farm these and figure out as many as you can make. And so let's see what Angelo came up with this list. I'm sure, no offense, Angelo, I'm sure Angelo was tasked. Hey, Angelo, what do you got? 10 things that didn't work, that don't hold up in Terminator 2? Sold. Give it to me in 10 minutes. Let's see how fast he works. All right, let's get to it. When it comes to action sequels, nothing can beat Terminator 2 Judgment Day. James Cameron's relentless action movie that would go on to define Arnold Schwarzenegger's career was already great, but his follow-up somehow managed to surpass it. Today, Judgment Day, or T2, still is revered as a classic in both action and science fiction genres. You're right, so this will be a tough thing to do. Released in 1991, but made in the tall end of 80s culture, it shouldn't be too surprising that some parts of Judgment Day didn't get any better with time. What? We're going to talk about like technology? Is that what we're going to talk about? iPads? I didn't even have those. There's no phones. Is that going to be on the list? This doesn't make the first Terminator sequel bad by any standards, but it does show how much of a product of its time that even a timeless action movie can be. You know, it's a product of its time that, something timeless can be a part. That is the biggest, it's like a jumbo shrimp. You say it's a product of its time that's timeless. All right, shall we get to number 10? We shall, right after this commercial break. Wasn't that wonderful? Unless, again, you had ad block on, and then screw you. You're not giving me any money. But there you go. We're going to go through as many of these commercial breaks as we can as we read. Number 10, Hasta, vista, baby. Bored of the T-800's robotic responses, John decides to make make it hip and cool by teaching it slang. His most memorable lesson is the one of the catchphrases which ends with Terminator saying "Hasta la vista, baby." That's true. It does end with "Hasta la vista, baby." Nope. So even in the movie's 1995 version, an actual year Judgment Day was released, even in the movie's version of 1995. Oh, that's right. Sorry. I'm trying to read this. I forgot. The movie takes place in 1995. Even in the movie's version of 1995, and the actual year Judgment Day was released in, saying "Hasta la vista, baby" or "No problemo" out loud is as gnarly as calling someone a jabroni during an actual conversation. Catchphrases like these are undeniable artifacts of an old decade, and it's for that exact reason why they should stay there. Okay. Hasta la vista is a reason Terminator 2 doesn't age well. Do you think the list will get better? Let's find out. Time to go to number 9. But first, this commercial break. I put my hand up there so I can know when to put the commercial. All right, let's get back to this. Oh, go away, Google Chrome. All right, number 9. I'm excited. What is number 9 going to be? The sequel's formula. Okay. Okay. Judgment Day is about a robot protector defending humanity's last hope. is so great that all succeeding Terminator properties copied it. The idea of a time-traveling Terminator fighting an advanced shape-shifting one is a cliche of its own in Terminator media, and only worsened with each installment. From the Sarah Connor Chronicles to even Dark Fate, this storyline is reduced into a basic checklist for sequels to lazily follow. This came to a head in Terminator Genesis, where T-800 aged like a real-life Schwarzenegger, protects a young Sarah Connor. She also calls him Pops, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm confused. This has nothing to do with why Terminator 2 didn't age well. This has to do with why the sequels suck. So, Angelo, maybe this article should be 10 reasons why the sequels suck? Because that'd be fair. We could probably agree to that. But to say that the sequel sucks, which it doesn't, because it made other sequels that just borrowed the sequel's formula, doesn't mean the sequel sucked. The sequel actually was one of the rarest sequels that is as good, if not surpasses, the original. So that's stupid. All right, well, whoa, almost teach you there. Number 8 is the ending. What? You'll have to find out after this break. Yeah, that's just my hand. So if you had ad block, this looks weird. Hey, we're back! Welcome to Andy's Fundraiser. As you can tell, we've been going through Screen Rant to hear their fantastic reasons why Terminator 2 doesn't age well. And really, you're just helping pay for this channel, because one ad does a lot, but 10, 12 ads? Woohoo! Now we're talking. So again, leave this on in the background if you're bored. Just put it on sometime when you want to support me. All right, so number 8, the ending. As popular as the Terminator is, it's obvious that it wasn't meant to be a franchise. This is the clearest in Judgment Day's ending, where Sarah closes the door by accepting humanity's free but uncertain future. But it is a franchise because there's more than one movie. And there's no reason they couldn't go back in time or something go wrong. When you make more of one movie, you've made a franchise. But let's continue. The haunting yet emotionally satisfying vibe of concluding her speech is lost in the sequels that keep resurrecting Judgment Day, making humanity's extinction inevitable. In hindsight, Sarah was too optimistic, since the sequels rendered Judgment Day's poignant sacrifices and the deleted happy ending pointless. Thankfully, the upcoming dark fight will ignore everything after the second movie. But again, it sounds like you're complaining about the sequels there, Angelo, from Screen Rant. You're not actually, there's no reason why Judgment Day doesn't work. You're just saying it doesn't work in future movies. So you even acknowledge that the future movies suck. So how does that make T2 not age well? You really sit there going, you know what? This movie isn't working for me because it doesn't make Genesis make sense. Just ignore Genesis. Like, duh. Whew, this is rough. All right, time to go back to one more commercial break. Boom! Look at my hand. It's pretty. Hey, and we're back. All right, I hope this works. This test may not even work, or YouTube may not even let me put all these ads in. But I digress. How much longer? Oh, we're already over 7 minutes in. Yes, let's keep going. We're gonna make some cash. Sweet YouTube cash. Trying to beat the ad apocalypse. All right. Wow, every time I hit the camera switch button, it changes my viewport. Okay, right. Number 7, Judgment Day. Though Judgment Day was released in the year the Cold War ended, it wasn't made when tensions were still high. This is the most evident in the how do you say that word? There are certain words I just can't say. You know the word I can't say? Can't say entrepreneur. Oh, I got it, finally. Anonymous? Anyway, Judgment Day, which is a nuclear holocaust triggered by Skynet the moment it comes sentient. While the ramifications of Cold War era politics are still felt today, and nukes are still around, they sure are, North Korea, etc., the specific fear of global nuclear war is something emblematic of the late 80s. Today, Judgment Day, I can't even read, I'm sorry. Today, Judgment Day won't be, because my webcam's in the way. Can I just move it? There we go. Today, Judgment Day won't be brought about by machines with launch codes, but by humanity's hubris and a pissed off Mother Nature. Well, that's an awfully big assumption there, Angelo. I think the nuclear Cold War politics are still pretty relevant. We could still be destroyed by a nuclear bomb anytime we want at a random. Someone could do it by accident. And I think even technology can take over. Skynet wasn't just beyond the nuke codes. Like, how about artificial intelligence taking over and becoming smarter than us? That was part of its plot too. So Judgment Day not making sense doesn't make any sense. Of course it makes sense. What a stupid article. Oh my God. All right. Before we go to the next one, what do you think? Do you think it's going to get even stupider? Let's hear from this commercial. Oh, wow. What a great product. All right. Go away. Google Chrome. There we go. Number 6, Technophobia. Oh, man. As with many sci-fi movies of the time, Judgment Day asks if mankind has gone too far in its pursuit of science. This is because Skynet, the artificial intelligence that kills humanity, was in fact created by men. Made during a seemingly endless global arms race, it's appropriate that Judgment Day embodied a mistrust of large-scale technological advancements. Today, technology has become ubiquitous and its applications are limited to the military. Hold on, I want to get rid of this so I'm not spoiling the next one. All right. Technophobia still exists, especially in light of intrusive hacking and social media, but it's fueled by different concerns when compared to Judgment Day's fears. So basically, you're trying to just say that technology couldn't be used except for by the military? Technophobia doesn't exist now? Hacking, anonymous, hello? Snowden and the fact that the government's watching us? Artificial intelligence, like I said earlier, that's not technophobia, that's scary? That they couldn't make robots to just murder us? And be smarter than us? I am entirely confused why this is something that makes it not hold up well. This guy is reaching. All right, one more commercial break after this. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at my arm. My hand. Oh my. And we're back. That's right. And we're talking about Screen Rant's 10 things from Terminator 2 that haven't aged well. And let's see. Have you made it this far? I'm impressed. I want you to leave a comment saying, yeah, Andy, I made it this far. And then you're going to make a comment at the end, too. And I'll tell you what secret word to say. So stay tuned. It means you supported me, and I'm going to be gracious. All right. Number 5, though. Let's get to it. The T800. Guys, the T800 clearly doesn't age. It has aged poorly. Let's learn why, shall we? Angelo is going to give us an education here. Thanks to Judgment Day's undying popularity, it's hard to remember that the T-800 being John's protector was actually a surprise twist. Now, that is a complaint that I wish they hadn't done in the trailers, because people who watch Terminator remember, oh, he's the bad guy, and then in 2, they made him the good guy, which was actually cool and made the whole thing different. But let's continue. This twist. This solidified Schwarzenegger's place in pop culture fame as an action hero, but it also came at the expense of his breakout role's fearful aura. No, you're missing the point, but let me finish your paragraph before I complain. Originally, the T-800 was a mechanized monstrosity from a dark future that wanted to murder a waitress. This unstoppable killer, based on James Cameron's actual nightmares, was all but forgotten as the Terminator movies went on, with the T-800's friendly second incarnation overshadowing what it was. The T-1000 was so much scarier. And then what made it so great was the fact that was even more of a nightmare. And then what made it even better was the fact that we had this psychological problem where Sarah Connor's like, oh my God, this is the guy who tried to murder me, kill him. But no, I'm here to protect you. It completely made her crazy an already crazy character have to wrestle with her already craziness. It made the movie so much more dynamic and interesting. What are you talking about that doesn't hold up? That's one of the best parts of the movie. The fact that her villain is now here to protect her and she has to sort of come to terms with that. It's brilliant. And it made the movie, the sequel, better. In all other movies, it just becomes, okay, now the T-1000 is there every other movie. It's a new version of T-1000. And, now it's a female T-1000. It's enough. That's stupid. It worked perfectly in Judgment Day. What are you talking about? This doesn't age well. Oh my God, I need to cool down. It's time for a commercial. Oh, thank God we're back. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you don't have ad block and you've been listening to these commercials, because otherwise this video is really weird. John Connor is another reason why Terminator 2 hasn't aged well. Okay. Not just even Edward Furlong's John Connor. They're saying John Connor makes the movie not age well. Okay. A part of the Terminator fan base derides Judgment Day for being a PG-rated movie. And John Connor embodied, it's not a PG-rated movie. Terminator 2 isn't PG, it's rated R. What? And John Connor embodies this complaint perfectly. Not only is he a kid, but he's an obnoxious kid of a precocious kid that's become a staple of corny 90s action movies aimed at families. The movie's a hard R action movie. What are you talking about? And he's a kid. When he's not making swarmy wisecracks, John teaches the 800 how to say the most radical slang. To be fair, John did what any 10-year-old from that time period would do if they had to kill a robot. Correct. Which is why precisely it doesn't age well. He's admitting that of course a 10-year-old's going to be a little corny. My kids are corny. They're little. That's what kids tell corny jokes, and dads tell corny jokes. That's timeless, dude. What are you talking about? So John Connor doesn't age well because he tells corny jokes, and that's not how we do it today. Wow, investigative journalism, Angelo. Good, bravo. And I think, you know what? This commercial, it's for you. And we're back. Thank you so much. Wow, you've made it through a lot of commercials. I'm impressed. You like this channel. And even if you're not listening to me and you're just putting it on in the background, that was the goal here. The goal was just to give you something. So hopefully you see my craziness and silliness, but you're still watching a video that's going to have multiple ads that then just cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because even if only like 1,000 of you watch this video, that's going to be like 10 times. Then suddenly, you know, a lot more people watch this video because the ads will have been repeated. See what I did? I'm like beating the apocalypse. I was looking at the wrong camera. I'm looking at you. Yeah, thank you for watching and making it this far. All right, so number 3, John. So not only is John Connor and the T-800, they don't hold up well. Now, John and the T-800, this doesn't age well either. John the T-800 proved Judgment Day's emotional backbone. Correct. With their sincere bond tearfully ending with John's unlikely father figure sacrifices himself for humanity's future, minus some key scenes, the relationship is also corny as hell. So again, we're stuck with, not only is John Connor corny when he's with him, is what they just complained, but now we're going to use it as his own number and be lazy in number 3. This is number 3, mind you. We'll be lazier and just do it again and say it's the chemistry that's corny, not just the lines that are corny. This is ridiculous. This doesn't mean that John the 800 hanging out has lost its appeal. But the moments they share, such as John teaching a killer robot that is bad, that killing is bad, can be cheesy and saccharine. There's a reason why this only worked in 1991. Because otherwise, you know, a kid telling a robot that it's cheesy and saccharine. How about the Iron Giant, which doesn't take place in the 90s? It's timeless when he's telling him to like calm down. That's like a pretty timeless idea to like teach your robot or alien, don't be bad. E.T., does that sort of do it too? Or that he's telling the FBI not to be bad. I don't understand how that's corny and saccharine. Saccharine only happens in the 90s? Well, do you watch the CW verse, the Arrowverse? Did you watch Smallville in the 2000s? Saccarine's all over, dude. Specifically, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines repeated their tandem, but to little success. Oh my God. So it doesn't hold up. It doesn't age well because it's saccharine, guys. Noted. I need to take a breather. You know what that means. And we're back. All right. Number 2, Sarah Connor, the Doomsday Nut. Oh my God. I'm actually just did this to try and be funny and just thought I'd read an article, but this article legitimately is upsetting me, and this is I can't believe Screen Rant gets away with this. This is just such dumbness. How is this an article? How did someone get paid to write this article, and then a site is so desperate that they just put up garbage to try and get SEO clicks and keywords? Thank you for paying me to read this and not going and read it yourself. I will do this as often as you guys requested in the comments down below, because let's make Popcorn Planet some dough, so I have to go through this garbage just to point out how stupid it is. So here we go. Sarah Connor, the Doomsday Nut, is the number 2 reason why Terminator 2 doesn't age well. Knowing her son would lead humanity against the machines, Sarah trains herself and John in combat. This, however, creates a wide emotional gap between her and John that's only closed when the movie ends. To the sequel's credit, this side of Sarah is depicted negatively. It only aged poorly in the following Terminator stories, where Sarah never completely got over her paranoia and her isolationist behavior being proven right. This was shown in Rise of the Machines with her Coffin of Guns and Dark Fates teasers, where she's reclusive as Laurie Strode in the new Halloween. So one, he hasn't even seen Dark Fate, Angelo, and so Angelo's just assuming now it's why Terminator 2 doesn't age well, because a movie he hasn't seen makes her still an isolationist. This is news, guys. This is entertainment coverage from a legitimate site that makes a lot of money, and this is news. He's literally admitting that the Doomsday Nut, which is creates a huge gap between her and John, which creates the conflict in the movie and shows her like complete amazing character arc from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2. A very realistic, gritty portrayal that is completely awesome, and it doesn't make sense. The side of Sarah is depicted negatively. Yeah, she's crazy. They say that. But it only aged poorly in the following sequels, one of which he hasn't seen. That's the number 2 reason why the Terminator 2 hasn't aged well. Screen Rant, you suck. All right, but now it's time to figure out the number 1 reason why Terminator 2 doesn't age well. But before we do it, you know what we got to do. Commercial break. And we're back. Bam. Now, to recap things. Just like they would do like an American Idol or Bachelor or any Survivor, any of those crappy reality shows that I've sadly watched way too much of. Before they do the finale, you got to do one more recap. Here we go. 10 things that haven't done, that Terminator 2 haven't aged well. Hasta la vista, baby, because it's corny. We got the sequel's formula because, the other movies completely just are not as good because part 2 did it so well. We got the ending because it's a sacrifice that doesn't make sense because other sequels had Judgment Day. Oh, and then we have Judgment Day because Judgment Day didn't happen, which is a repetitive thing from the 8th thing. And then we have Technophobia because robots, AI, technology we can't be scared of technology in this day and age with the hive mind and everything that's artificial intelligence, virtual reality. None of that's scary. But whatever. Oh, now the T-800, he doesn't age up well because he's corny. And he was a bad guy in the first one, so him being a good guy in this one doesn't make any sense, guys. And then John Connor's very corny. He has corny lines, which we've already addressed in the Hasta la Vista, but that wasn't enough. Now John Cornyn is just corny himself because he's doing 90s lines. And then T-800 and John together also doesn't age well because they're corny and saccharine, too sweet. And on top of that, as if they weren't enough, Sarah Connor's Doomsday Nut, not a cool idea, doesn't age well because in the movie that we haven't seen yet, Dark Fate, she's kind of doing it again. So Screen Rant has done all of this. Let's see what number 1 is. It's time, without further ado, to go to number 1 after this break. And it's time to announce number 1, 10 things that are annoying about Terminator. You know what's really ironic about this video? All those commercials are making you deal with actual clickbait, and we're waiting to see clickbait. So if you've made it this way, I want you to say in the comments down below, I made it through the clickbait. Go down to comments below and I will see that you've watched this. And if no one watches this, then I will say my apologies for wasting your time. Here we go. We did waste our time because this article is not going to deliver. That is my guess. But here we go. Number 1, Sarah Connor. I couldn't have written this myself, folks. This is the dumbest. Let's hear Angelo out. Angelo, please, can you tweet at me? Can you hit me up on social media? Let's have you on and have you defend this list. Please, let's find him. Let's find him on the internet. I don't mean to hate you. I know you're doing your job. I hope. Angelo Delos Trinos, come on, reach out. Let's have a conversation about this. What are you doing here? Let's hear, though, Angelo's thoughts on why Sarah Connor hasn't aged well. After surviving the first movie's events, Sarah became a cold, gunslinging survivalist who thinks emotions weaken people, demanding that everyone toughen up. In short, she threw aside traits that are commonly dismissed for being weak and effeminate in favor of more aggressive masculine behavior. Whoa. Cameron's depiction of female empowerment through Sarah may be well in meaning, but it's juvenile by today's standards. Essentially, all he did was take a generic 90s badass and replace their testosterone with estrogen. His take on feminism also got him in hot water after he lambasted Wonder Woman for lacking Sarah's grit and damage. So, whoa. So Angelo's take on feminism here, which is what he's assuming is James Cameron's take on feminism, is that you can't have a female that's aggressive and masculine. They must not be dismissed for their weakness and femininity. They must have either or no, and they can't be aggressive and masculine. That is just not a good female empowerment depiction because females are effeminate and weak. In short, she threw aside traits that are commonly dismissed for being weak and effeminate in favor of aggressive. This guy's literally saying that she's too badass. She's too much like a man for the character to work. So therefore, Sarah Connor doesn't hold up because she's too masculine. She's just a guy, 90s man badass, but she's a woman. And that, you know what? That doesn't work in today's female empowerment, guys. That is just unacceptable in our take of feminism because feminists need to be weak and effeminate in order to, have a little bit of that and not just be aggressive and masculine because that's how we're defining now gender. Females. Did you hear what Angelo just said? You cannot be too masculine. Get it out of your system. Get that estrogen back in and take that testosterone out. Because it's just not aging well. It's just making Terminator 2 not age well. Holy moly. Screen Rant, you got some explaining to do. And all of you that made it through the clickbait, thank you. I think this was pretty fun. I hope you thought it was too. And I think you did some good, because if you get this video out there and you share it, I made some money and it helps keep this channel going because I want to do this for you. So what did you think? Please react down below. Hit me up on social media with other links you want me to do this for. Maybe we'll make a recurring thing. I'll always warn you of what it is ahead of time so you don't get mad at me. But if you support the channel and you made it through and you got this far, do me a favor. Why don't you watch it one more time? Hit that refresh button. Watch it whenever you want to support Popcorn Planet. Thank you guys so much for supporting me in this fundraiser today. You didn't have to lift a penny. You didn't have to give a penny. Wasn't that beautiful? Thank you again. Please enjoy. Hit that subscription button and that bell, all that good stuff. And I'll be back with more videos soon. And why not check out this post roll? In fact, why not click on it? See what it is. Let's see together. Tell me in the comments below what the last commercial was. I can't wait to see it. Thanks, everybody. I'm waiting for the commercial. Here it comes.